I'd like to call the Livingston County Board meeting of Thursday, January 15th, to order at 6 p.m. We'll have the invocation by Pastor Jan Ambrose, please.
Let us bow our heads for prayer. Holy Father, we come into your presence tonight in the name of your Son, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, to honor you. We ask that you would send your Holy Spirit's power into this place of county government to do as your word states, to order and to establish with judgment and with justice the business of Livingston County. We ask you also to bless our faithful board of directors with the mind of Christ to carry out your perfect will. In Jesus' name we pray, believe, and receive. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Ambrose. We'll now have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Seth Welch. Could we have the roll call, please, Alina?
Manker.
Present.
Hearing.
Here.
Fair.
Present.
Cannon. Level. Rodriguez. Vietti.
Here.
Haig.
Here.
Monson.
Here.
Mays.
Here.
Barrickman.
Here.
Ambrose.
Here.
Blackard.
Present.
Myers. Welch.
Present.
Carly.
Present.
Weller.
Present.
Ritter.
Present.
Okay, I will take a motion for the approval of the agenda with one addition. We're going to have under presentations D, we're going to have John Kilgore introduce himself. He's now taking Adam Don's place at the moment for the GLC EDC. So with that addition to the agenda, I'll take a motion to approve in a second. Motion by Lovell, second by Ritter. Second by Ritter, sorry. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. If you've hopefully looked at the minutes, which are in our packet, I'll take a motion to approve in a second.
Second.
Motion by Weller, second by Blackard. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Move to presentations. We will have a Public Health Administrator, Aaron Fogarty, come forward, please. Thank you, Aaron.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for allowing me to come in or allow me to share time with you all this evening and share some wonderful updates that we have going on at the Livingston County Health Department. On December 15th, the Board of Health approved a 4-day work week, extending our business hours Monday through Thursday. So our new business hours are now Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and on Thursdays we're open 7 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. This change much more aligns with the way we've been functioning for many years now. To better accommodate our public, we've known for a long time that those hours existing outside of the 8 to 4:30 time frame are best for our working folks and for the types of services that we provide for our folks. So we wanted to ensure that that was accurate. So in our community health needs assessment that we conducted in 2024, this was one of the questions that we asked: when is it best for you to receive our types of services? And it was shared with us that those hours that are either prior to the 8 a.m. hours or later than the 4:30 p.m. hours are some of those most ideal times. Again, this more aligns with the way we've been functioning for a long time. And so with that said, our Fridays for a long time have been very, very quiet. We get very little foot traffic and very few phone calls that require navigating on Fridays. And so for us to remain, or to have the building remain open to the public, is not good, effective, and efficient use of our taxpayer dollars. So we want to concentrate those dollars to be effective and efficiently used during those peak times whenever people are really trying to receive our services and that. That said, we do still have operations that are occurring on Fridays. we're still out in the field so that we're making sure we're accommodating for our businesses, we're doing home visits, we're visiting our schools, those types of things to make sure that you're still going to see us out in your communities, you're going to see us in those off hours on weekend times, those types of things. I was grateful to receive a question last time regarding how this was going to impact our budget, especially knowing that we do still have operations happening on Friday. So I want to make sure that that's addressed in this because this is in part done for sure for cost savings in large part to this. So not only are the hours more accommodating for our public, this was in the best interest of our budget as well. Again, the use of dollars on Fridays whenever we're not getting a lot of traction wasn't good use of those dollars, but we also were able to do a really great restructure, and this was something I forgot to share last time, Chairman Mason. We were able to reduce by a full-time position, one full-time position in doing this restructure. We eliminated our front desk position. We kind of rethought about how we were doing things and how we're providing services, answering our phones, doing some of those redirects there. So not only did this not increase our budget because it's not going to allow for any overtime or anything like that. We'll still continue to operate the way we have been, but it also allowed us to do some cost savings in this as well. And I'd be happy to take any questions.
Does anyone have any questions for Aaron?
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Aaron. Appreciate your work.
Appreciate everyone's time this evening.
Next, we're going to have the Heartland Community College Regional Strategic Plan. So if you'd come forward, please. I don't have any names, ladies, so you can introduce yourself and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Becky Ropp, and this is Janet Hood. We're both trustees with Heartland Community College. I'm the chair, and Janet is the vice chair. I've been on the board since 2014, and Janet since 2017. Is that right? Yep. And Janet is also our chair of the Finance Committee. I just kind of wanted to introduce who's talking to you this evening. Our purpose tonight is to talk with you and show you a little bit about our strategic plan for the coming years, specifically for the Livingston County area and the regional campus we have here in Pontiac. Advancing the slides. So we started off our planning process for our strategic plan in the fall of 2024. And the arrows that you see in this presentation, those are all times that we checked back with the communities that we serve in District 540. So the first thing we did was an environmental scan in the October to December timeframe, and then in January to May, then we started with a listening tour. So in the environmental scan, going backwards just a little bit, the environmental scan was actually done by Northern Illinois University. We worked with them to scan the communities that we work in and give us some demographic information and some job market forecasting information. Then we went on into the listening tours in that January to May timeframe, and we offered those listening tours in a number of different ways, whether that was virtual, whether that was in person, just to try to get as many community members involved in the processes to make sure that we were not only gathering information, demographic information and information from the communities and businesses, but just open to the public, understanding what was necessary, what was needed in the areas that we serve. Then we went back, we took all that information, made a planning draft in around the June timeframe, and came back with a plan feedback loop just to see were we on track in that fall of 2025 timeframe. And then we have been finalizing the plan, and this is part of finalizing the plan, is coming back around to say this is where we're landing, this is what we are planning to do, these are some of the goals that we see, and we want your feedback, we want your involvement in this as well. So you know where we think we're headed, but we want to check and make sure that that meets with the goals and the ideas of the county board and the citizens around Livingston County as well. So starting out with that environmental scan, these were a few things that were specific to this Livingston County area, this Pontiac area. So first of all was low unemployment participation rate that you might be seeing in this area. So that's an employment participation rate for Illinois is approximately 65%, and specifically in the Livingston County area is approximately 58%. The need for healthcare workers, that is a continuing theme in a number of different areas, but specifically for the Livingston County area is that healthcare workers need. Technical education, career and technical education, the need for CDL truck drivers. There's a shortage across the nation of CDL truck drivers, but specifically in this Livingston County area. And you also have a growing Hispanic community that we want to make sure that we are serving appropriately as well. Moving on into some of the enrollment trends from a high school perspective. When it says no college data, that's from that graduating class. Those are the individuals that are headed into the workforce or headed into military, those types of things. So there's no college, they're not headed towards a college data or college in their next step of their career. Now, understandable that college is not necessarily for every student, but there are ways that we might be able to help from a Heartland perspective to create some skills for them, help them create some skills, and some of those types of ways. So those are numbers that we look at very seriously. You'll see across the various townships and high schools that service this area, this territory in District 540, that there's a variety of those numbers are students that are not going to college. So in particular, across our district average, it's about 28% of students that are deciding not to go from high school to another higher education. But in particular, those numbers are a little bit higher in the Pontiac Township high school, but specifically in Prairie Central, it's 54%, 54.9% in fact. So wanting to try to see how we can help attract students into certain skill development areas that might be able to help them to get a job, to get a better job, and to really move on into a career. Next, Janet is going to talk about the listening tour findings.
Good evening. Good evening, and I apologize for my voice. The listening tours were conducted. We conducted 30 different listening tours with individuals, leaders in the community. We were looking to validate, to dispute environmental scans, and to obtain new information that we may not have gathered during the environmental scan. So what did we find? Probably not surprising to y'all. Local employers challenged, a need to recruit from the outside of the community to fill job postings, and a need to have healthcare training options locally. Moving on, we discussed and we learned more about what is needed to meet the needs of people in the community. People questioned the value of higher education. You know, the debt versus the return on of the ROA, thinking that all higher education is universities, is not affordable, and it takes several years to complete. Not so. People are unfamiliar with short-term courses and or cost of education at Heartland Community College. People feel like there's no clear pathways to technical education students for college careers, not a 4-year campus. So, what else did we find? We found some community challenges. Higher levels of underemployment, not unemployment, but necessarily just underemployment. Surprised that we didn't see higher education poverty rates. Felt there was more economic need across the community. However, if those percentages of poverty is combined with the ALICE scoring, it's at approximately 40%. And you're going, what's she talking about? What's ALICE? ALICE is Asset Limited Income Constrained Employed. And of course, it's not new to any of us. There's transportation challenges, both internally of the town, the city, and the county, and to the normal campus. There's also, none of us are surprised to know that this is a child care desert. And then we need to show them that we as Heartland, are a higher education option in town. So we took that back, did a lot of internal talking, and some of the things that have come out of those talks are, it's led us as Heartland to considering the following of guided development of our offerings. Let's start that again. It's led to our considering the following to guide the development of our offerings that lead people to jobs, to better jobs, to careers. We are following that. We are considering offerings here in the Pontiac area of a CNA program here in Pontiac and certificate programs such as medical assistant, recovery support specialist, and dental assistant. All things that support the kinds of things in your hospital, your health care, and such. Those are where we found a lot of the needs. But we also found in the needs to expand the manufacturing offerings, need to expand the careers and the technical educations offered in Pontiac. These would align certificate offerings with local employment opportunities. This is with CAT, with Enbridge, with Alderman Electric, and Sheridan. Examples of the kinds of programs we're talking about would be macroelectronics, HVAC, and welding. Further, we would work with industry partners locally to come and talk with students about opportunities. And finally, we could develop apprenticeships, opportunities for the future. Exciting horizon for what can and will be coming to the Pontiac area. So let's highlight pathways to Pontiac. First, help individuals get to programs. Meet the people where they are, here in the community. And you're going, she may not know what she's talking about. I work in my day job here in Pontiac with Mid-Central Community Action. I know your community. I know your people. I know the facts behind here. So I truly understand transportation needs. People on the south side of town can't even get to the heart of the community where the services are offering because they don't have transportation. And I'm happy to say that I do know that Futures Connect has been working, now that Show Bus is gone, to work on those kinds of programs to get people within the community, within the district, within the county, and possibly even get students who don't have programs that they need, like a class here and there, to and from the Heartland campus. So, that being said, the board has instructed the president and administration of Heartland to investigate transportation solutions. Not years, months, decades.
So from here, we're going to talk about goals. What Heartland Community College has identified as goals in this community for us to focus on. And this is where I want to make sure that we're showing you what we are calling our goals, but we want your input in all of this to make sure they align with what are some of the things that you see. So these are some of the things, and the other thing I'd say about this is we've tried to make measurable goals that we can make sure that we're making progress on, and we can hold our staff accountable to make sure that we're making progress on. So it's not just general directives. These are actual number goals as you see here on the screen. So by the end of our plan, which we're calling 2031, looking out into the future, we want to graduate 20 CNA students annually. We want to be graduating 20 healthcare related certificates annually. We want to have 40 students annually complete a CTE, or a Career and Technical Education Certificate, with local employment from the Pontiac campus on a specific academic year. We want them prepared to work in the with the local employers, such as Edelman or Sheridan or some of the others that we had identified earlier. We want to establish an English as a Second Language, an ESL program, to serve at least 20 students annually, and to have 40 complete GED courses through Heartland Community College at the Livingston campus. We want measurable goals, as I mentioned. We have numbers associated with these. Understandable, any of these goals can be adjusted as we tell how things actually develop in the community. If there are things that happen or opportunities that come up, we can be flexible and to kind of turn on a dime to try to serve some opportunities in the county. But we wanted to have something to start with from our strategic plan to really hold ourselves accountable in that process. Additionally, from a goals perspective, we want to increase high school yields. Those going into college, we want to try to work with the local high schools to try to see about encouraging a lot of those students. We want to connect with 10 Livingston Area Career Center students to Heartland after graduation, and we want to have 12 individuals earn their CDL, their commercial driver's license, annually through Heartland Community College, and graduate 10 child care assistant workers. Now, these are goals. That doesn't mean that we have the programs or the facilities or the materials to create these right at this moment. These are the things that we'll be working on. And these are also some of the things that I'm going to be asking you here in a minute to help us with as well, pending that we're both on the same page in those goals that we're working towards. So I talked about the planning process and where we're at in a number of those time frames and how we're connecting back to the community. The college has obviously strong relationships with the Grundy Livingston Kankakee Workforce Board. They're actually located in our lease facility here in the Livingston County area in the Pontiac location. We also have strong partnerships with the Greater Livingston County Economic Development Council, and we want to continue to nurture those. Those are certainly going to be important as we continue to implement this plan and as we continue to reach these goals. But what is the board asking of you as the county board? We're asking for partnerships and collaboration. We want you to understand what our goals are. We want you to have some feeling of accountability and a feeling of partnership in those goals. And we also want you to know what are some of the things that we need in order to reach those goals. So things like forming connections in the area. We want your help in making those connections. Things such as facilities to make additions to our Pontiac location. For things like, excuse me, we're going to need a parking lot, a huge parking lot to do CDL training, commercial driver training. Are there options or opportunities that with options in the Livingston County area that we just don't know about that you might be able to suggest to us? Those are things that we're interested in. Is there space that you can think of or that we can work with for a CNA program? There are certain specifications from the state that we have to host and to be able to award credit for CNA programming. So we need to find space. Our facilities right now that we have for Heartland in the Pontiac area are not certified. They're not up to those standards. Are there places in Livingston County that we can host some of those types of programming, how we can bring some of that to the local area? Are there grant opportunities that you know of that we can expand some of these services? Ultimately, we want to create a beneficial partnership between the citizens, the board of Livingston County, as well as Heartland Community College. We're here to serve your citizens, all the citizens of District 540, and we want to make sure that our goals are helping you reach your goals as well. So we are creating these regional center plans. We're checking that back with each one of the areas and the municipalities that we work with to make sure that you're on board with what we want and or what we're seeing, not just what we want, but what we are seeing. Does that align with what your goals are? And how can we partner and work together in some of those things? In the March timeframe is when our board is going to be finalizing the vote on moving forward with these goals, on moving forward with this strategic plan. So that's why we're here now, to bring this to you, to get your input before we do a lot of those things, to make sure if we're totally off in some way, tell us about that. Help us understand what the needs are. But like always, I just want to say thank you very much for the opportunity to connect with all of you. It's important that we stay connected, that you know what we're doing, what we're working on. It's important that we understand what's important to this board and what you're working on for the County of Livingston and how we can have working partnerships together. So with that, we will stop. I want to open it up to see if there are questions or challenges or thoughts. Yes.
Couple questions real quick.
Yeah.
You mentioned LACC. Doesn't LACC already have a CNA program?
I am not 100% sure of that. You know that?
Thank you. Can you come up here if you're going to speak, please?
Good evening. I'm Keith Cornell, president at Heartland Community College. We do have a working relationship with the Career Center on a number of different programs, but there's also the opportunity for people that aren't in high school right now that we can tap into in order to get the additional training that they need to advance themselves. So we do work with them, and there is maybe the potential of using their space when they're not using it for that purpose, and we are exploring that. We're exploring some other options as well. So if they're using their space currently and we're running something simultaneously, how can we do that?
Well, that presents a great opportunity for like night courses and stuff
Correct.
like that. Yes, that's where I was going, because I want to make sure that we didn't have duplication of this without you guys coordinated, because that goes to that whole thing of the disconnect. If we are already offering these and we have high schoolers getting these CNA certifications, and then there's nothing there to support them maybe even going further or more specialization, if there's a disconnect between LACC, which already functions at a very high level, and then Heartland. Next thing, don't you guys also offer a CDL already?
We do offer a CDL. We don't offer it in this area. So if
I'm
somebody wants the
I'm
CDL, they have
incorrect,
to
you
go
guys
down.
have used Caterpillar parking lot before.
We've not used Caterpillar parking lot in the recent future that I know of, since I've been here at all.
Okay.
So, but there is an opportunity that we would explore with them. There's some things that we need with that space that may limit it, because, again, it would have to be a clear parking lot when we're running in, so we can't have other vehicles in it.
Oh, I understand that. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that
Yeah.
there's opportunities that
Correct.
have been done. Thank you.
Correct. And I want to reassure you, we are looking at all those options right now. This is just, where we're at with the plan. We're looking at all those options with regard to spaces and everything else and where we can leverage. We're not looking to duplicate or replicate, but how do we leverage?
I just have a suggestion. You mentioned childcare and transportation and the lack thereof, both of those things. I know that the health department, Erin Fogarty, has been working on the childcare solutions for our community. I would suggest that maybe you go and meet with her and see collaborate, maybe a little bit. Also, Futures Unlimited has taken over transportation. So you might want to talk to them too and see what they offer so that you can let your students know. That's it.
And Gina, we're already in conversations working with Futures and also Connect Transit. So between the two, because there may be some programs where we need to have transportation that gets individuals all the way down to the normal campus.
I know that the health department and their committees have. Erin is here tonight. You might want to get with her because they've done a lot of research and
Right, and we've had staff that have been working with that community here that is talking about childcare, the health department, I say, so, oh, yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Sharing of time here. Yes, so the Livingston County Health Department initiated a child care coalition as part of the strategic plan for the overall county. And I'm very happy to report that Heartland Community College is an integral partner in that coalition. I actually just met with the Pontiac site coordinator here, April Ferrano, earlier, as well as Allison Saxton with the Livingston Workforce Services to develop some different ways where we're going to work on some different marketing, different recruitment, ways that we can make sure that folks that are heading into the child care field here in Livingston County are set up for success. So we're very grateful to Heartland Community College for their partnership and their activity and involvement in that coalition.
And for that coalition to be successful, we need to get those people trained to certain levels, and that's what we can provide in that space is the training.
Thank you, Gene. Chairman, I appreciate you bringing that up. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes.
I actually don't have a question. I just have to commend not only the presentation, but I have to commend what we're offering and what's happening here in Livingston County for our citizens and the opportunity that Heartland Community College is providing. I get to see it on many levels firsthand, whether at Pontiac Township High School and the dual credit program there's with the Livingston Area Career Center and Pontiac Township High School, or the night classes that also take place there, and being able to work with them and watch them help our community members in ways that nobody had imagined before, or they had imagined it but didn't have the ability to do it. I, for one, am thankful for what is going on and where this strategic plan is going, and I am looking forward to supporting that. So I appreciate you guys for doing that.
Are there any other questions for the presenters? I want to thank you very much for your presentation, ladies and gentlemen, and we appreciate all you're doing for us, and we will certainly try and work with you. We really appreciate what you're doing for the county. Thank you much.
Thank you. And keep the lines of communication and the partnerships, ideas flowing. We're always welcome.
Thank you. Next, we'll have some students from Mr. Ritter's class, Pontiac Township High School. Will be presenting about the Route 66 multiple use trail. So gentlemen, please introduce yourselves. I know you, but I don't know if everybody else does. So introduce yourselves and then fire away, please.
First and foremost, I want to thank you for having us here tonight. We're excited to be here to present with you guys. My name's Cole Donzi. This is Joshua Harkeen, and this is Corbin Cotter. We're students at Pontiac Township High School as well as Heartland Community College. We're here to share with you some information about the abandoned part of Route 66 and how we would like to turn it into a multi-use path. We have a couple main points we'd like to talk to you about today. The first of which being why we see a need for this. Second, how we plan on achieving this. Third, the economic benefits it will provide. And then fourth, we have some data that we'd like to share with you that we've collected from the community. So the project overview, we'd like to turn it into a multi-use path along the 9-mile stretch south of Pontiac connecting to Chenoa. The point of this would to be expand recreation within our community. It would support conservation, provide economic development, and then it would also strengthen community connections. Some of the key reasons for this is a lack of safe and dedicated paths in our community, as well as a lack of natural habitats for people to go out and enjoy on a day-to-day basis, as well as opportunities to enhance ecological and economic values. Some supporting evidence is there's many existing Route 66 segments across all of Illinois. We've made multiple community surveys that's been sent out to Livingston County, and the responses have showed high favor towards wanting this path in our community. This path would honor the historic legacy of Route 66, with it being the only segment left in Illinois that has been not turned into a path. It's the last segment that has not been covered. Some actions we need to take to make this happen would be securing county approval for this Route 66 corridor, and then we'd like to coordinate efforts among the counties of Livingston as well as McLean, specifically Pontiac and Chenoa, for purposes such as maintenance. And then we'd plan to follow the Farnsworth Group Development Plan, which already has the whole layout for the path.
The strategy we want to use to implement this project would be phase it into manageable stages, such as the first stage we want to go in and we want to just clean up the path, and we want to get rid of all the mounds of dirt and rubble on it. And then during that, we want to engage the community in that to have some volunteers come out and just help clean up the path. And then one of the second stages would be to go in and lay the asphalt down, obviously, and just get the path ready for people to come in. And we would take that into 1 mile segments at a time. And then we want to pursue grants and private donations. We want to as well get support with the state through the grants and get some county funding to help with this path. Now, some benefits environmentally would be to use native prairie plantings to reduce long-term maintenance, so that would lower the cost of the path overall, and then it would also enhance the natural habitat of the area, as there aren't too many areas in Livingston County that have natural habitat we can go and just walk out in. And then this would also contribute to another project that a group in our class is working on. It's called the 30 by 30 conservation. We would make sure that we sustain 30% of land and water in Illinois by 2030. Some other information would be every dollar that is put into tourism in Illinois comes back into $9 of output. And nationwide, Route 66 is a $132 million industry in tourism annually. Now, McLean County estimated a cost of $14.3 million for 37.2 miles of path, but we're only asking for 9 miles of path. So then we want to present to some other groups to get more support with this path. We want to present to the CAG, that is Community Advisory Group, and Illinois Audubon Society. And then the support we have would be from McLean County Board members, Ride Illinois, Friends of Constitution Trails, the City of Pontiac, Senator Balkema, and Engineering Resource Associates. Now, Route 66 is a proven economic engine. Illinois has been investing in Route 66 lately, and 2026 is a catalyst for that, because this year is the centennial of Route 66, so that would increase tourism even more, with more people coming in for the 100th year of Route 66, and this would also increase a rise in outdoor recreation and cycling tourism. Now, reduce acquisition and engineering costs. We can lease Route 66 for $1 a year from Illinois, and then as well as the engineering cost would be fairly low compared to just creating a new path, because we already have this roadbed down and this asphalt down that we just have to clean up and then go in and mill and till. And then we have unique opportunities for rural and historic grants, because we're a rural neighborhood in Illinois, and then Route 66 is a very historic road that we can get grants for and just help support this project that we're wanting to do.
Some potential roadblocks we're going to face. I know that when the county addressed this back in 2014, there was a list of about 15 problems that you guys identified. So here are some of the big ones and our solutions to them. So funding is obviously a big problem, so we're going to be pursuing a lot of grants. Some examples are the Federal Recreation Trails Program, which is a federal grant from the DNR, as well as Illinois Transportation Enhancement Program has a lot of state grants that we can apply for. And like Corbin said, since we are a rural community and this is also tied to Route 66, we have a unique opportunity to apply for a lot more grants. The second big problem was bridges. Now, in our meeting with some IDOT engineers, we found out that ITEP has already funded $2 million to replace the existing bridges on the lanes in use, and because of that, they can add on a pedestrian bridge for little to no cost that we can use on the bike path. Maintenance was the other big issue, and so we're going to try and limit the maintenance cost by putting natural habitat along the path similar to what's across the road next to the railroad track, as well as coordinating maintenance between Chinoa, City of Pontiac, and the county to just reduce long-term cost. Another big issue was signage, and in December we presented to the City of Pontiac, and they verbally agreed to back us with signage throughout the path. So we sent out a survey to schools in Livingston County, so this is a lot of student-led data. So the first question we asked is if they see a need for a multi-use bike path. 60% of people said that there's a definite need, with an additional 30% saying that they might have seen a need. Then we asked them how often they would use it. 85% of people said that they would use a bike path, and 25% said that they would use it at least once a month. Then we asked about natural habitat around the bike path, and an outstanding 93% of people said that they were in favor for natural habitat around it. So what we need from you guys today, and in the long run, we need help applying for these grants. We need approval to move forward from you guys, and we're asking the county board to write a resolution just stating that you guys are going to do everything you can and take this as far as you can and work with us to try and see this through. We additionally need your help working to coordinate maintenance on the path. I want to thank you guys again for listening to our presentation as we told you why we see a need, how we're going to implement it, why the economic benefits of it, and backed it up with community data. Are there any questions?
Does anyone have any questions for these gentlemen?
I just want to say how proud I am of you guys for taking this on, because even what you're doing, and it's not all of it, I understand you're going to get a lot of people to help, for you to even want to do this makes me so proud. So thank you.
Thank you.
I got a question for you. You said the state of Illinois is going to put those new bridges in on the old road anyway, and they're going to redo the bike paths for that. How soon are they going to replace those bridges?
I'm not 100% sure, but I can research that and I can get a definite answer back to you.
Because it's that critical part where you guys got to have bridges before you get everything else kind of in line.
Right, and we can also, like, something we've talked about is just maybe putting the path up until the bridges, because the bridges are pretty far down the path, so even if we have a 3 or 4 mile stretch before people hit a bridge and then they can turn around, I think that would be more beneficial than having no path.
Okay, thank you.
One question.
Gina.
Sorry. One question. There is no path between Pontiac and Odell, is that correct?
That's correct.
Are you looking maybe forward after this one is implemented, then maybe trying this north side?
Yeah,
Okay.
just further in the future.
Good. Thank you.
Any other questions? Mr. Ritter?
Mr. Chairman, I don't have any questions. First of all, I could not be a prouder papa at this moment. Just going to say that. I am the kids' chief cheerleader. I stand back and I give them the freedom to make it however they need to make it, with giving them core guidance. But I do want to say thank you to the number of county board members and county officials who have taken the time to not only meet us out at the roadside on Route 66 and walk the path with us, but also to help give them advice and walk them through ideas and thought processes. I'd also like to thank the people of not only Livingston County, but McLean County and beyond, who have come to the call of these fine gentlemen. And they are the ones leading their classroom in the process as well, because they have a team of 8 other Heartland students, Pontiac students, behind them that are leading the charge with that. And so I just want to make it very clear, without a team effort, nothing is possible. But I would say this too, that the longest journey in one's life that you can take starts with but one simple step. And these gentlemen have done much more than that in their process of starting through this program. And I will say that listening to them speak and hold themselves in front of not only our board, but also in front of the city of Pontiac and others, and conducting themselves to make sure that they take every opportunity to do so, and then having conversations with our legislators and anybody else who will listen to them. My hat goes off to them. My hat goes off to them, because they are doing the jobs that we as leaders, they are the leaders that are up and coming, and they are holding the torch for the future real high and bright for the rest of us to see. So with that, I say thank you to everybody in here for letting them take the time to do this. I appreciate you, boys.
I think that it couldn't be any better put, Mr. Ritter. Thank you very much. And I want to tell you, gentlemen, I'm proud to see you stepping up. I know I've heard you guys, and we've met a few times, and you do an excellent job. I want you to keep up the good work, and we'll certainly take things under advisement, and we appreciate what you're doing. So thank you very much. We'll now move to Mr. Kilgore. He wants to come up. Mr. Kilgore is now the head honcho at the GLC EDC, and so he can give you some information right here. Thank you, John.
Good evening, and thank you for lending me the opportunity. I do not have a formal presentation for you tonight. My purpose here is just to, for those that don't know, that our GLC EDC director, Adam Donce, has moved on to Washington, D.C. He didn't know I was here tonight, but actually called me right before the meeting. And in the last week, he gave his first presentation at Capitol Hill and was also presented in the White House last week. So from this lectern to those stages, I'm very proud of him. I received a phone call about 30 days after being retired from Pontiac Township High School as the superintendent there, where I had spent administrative years for over 20 years. And over those years, I have addressed this group for various reasons with the school. And also, the last one was a large request for technology back during the ARPA and ESSER fund days. And so I greatly appreciate that. I am now here, as you know, with a different hat. I am not a school administrator in this community. I am now a GLC EDC director in the form of an interim director on a part-time basis. And while Adam was serving full-time, I had also committed because I received a second call from a school district in Paxton, Illinois, and they were in great need of school leadership, and I answered that call. Sometimes I wonder, but I am now driving down there 2 to 3 days a week, and when I'm not helping them with their school district as an interim superintendent, I am serving as your interim director here with the GLC EDC. I tell you that because I want to be upfront and transparent that I am not here 5 days a week. But let me tell you, I pick up the phone as I did earlier this week and changed my day to be where I was supposed to be in their community to be here. For example, the governor was in town with an event in Wally's, and it was important to represent. So I just want to let you know that I am flexible and I'm here for your needs. I just would like to say that I appreciate this group's support over the years for our organization, and I know our members do as well. I appreciate Bob serving, Weller serving on our executive board representing this group. He does a great job, and let me tell you, he's not afraid to ask questions, and that is appreciated. I am here to answer your questions as well, whether that be tonight or if you'd like to contact me personally and have a one-on-one, a phone call. I am here to answer your questions and give you updates if we want more time than we have here tonight. So again, I'm here to introduce myself in this new role. I am here for you, and please call me and contact me anytime. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Kilgore?
Mr. Kilgore, I'd like to say thank you for your willingness to take this role on. I know how busy you are. I was giving you a hard time earlier just because you were my superintendent, and it's just sometimes kind of fun to put a punch in every once in a while. But to be honest with you, I do know how hard you work and what you're doing and what you're going through, and I appreciate you doing this for the county and what you're doing. I really do, sir.
Thank you. I enjoyed my 30 days of spinning records and drinking coffee in my garage. And someday I aspire to return to that.
John, would it be appropriate to go through the process of what we are doing in our search, a new director?
The executive committee does have a search committee. They signed me on through June 30th as the interim. Our chairman, Mark DeKeerskeeter, who represents Serban and obviously our organization, is the lead on that. It would probably be more appropriate to talk to him regarding that, but I do know that at this time they've been happy with my services and they have not been in a fast-paced search to replace me in this role. However, I have told them that as interested as I am in this and as much time as I have and would continue on beyond June 30th when my commitments elsewhere become more full-time, if that is what they desire, I would be pleased to do that. And I've also clearly said, if you find somebody that's your forever person to replace me, perhaps is younger and has more background, then I absolutely step aside and support their choices.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Mr. Kilgore? Well, John, I want to personally thank you, and I know you well enough to know you're very easy to communicate with, and anybody here that wants to get a hold of him or has some questions about things, he'll be more than willing to talk to you, and he does a great job, and we thank you for stepping up in the community, as Mr. Ritter said. Thanks, John.
Thank you. I'm going to put some cards over here if anybody wants to contact me.
Thank you again. We'll now move to consent agenda. We have two things on the consent agenda. We have approval of the bills, and then we have appointment of 6 men. I'm not going to read their names, to the Moon Point Cemetery Association. So I will entertain a motion to approve those. Motion by Manker.
Second.
Second by Blackard. We'll have a roll call vote, please, Alina.
Anchor.
Yes.
Earring.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Level.
Yes.
Yeti. Egg.
Yes.
Monson.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Barrickman.
Yes.
Ambrose. Yes. Lackard.
Yes.
Welch.
Yes.
Carly.
Yes.
Weller.
Yes.
Ritter. Ritter. We're going to put him as present.
Present.
There he is.
Ritter.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Ritter. Okay, we'll move to the action agenda. We'll have the committee reports. We'll start with Finance Committee. Seth Welch is the vice chair, taking over for the chair who's gone. So Seth, if you'd please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The committee met last Tuesday, January 6th, and then briefly before tonight's full board meeting. And as a result, we have a handful of resolutions to act on. First item is a resolution authorizing an end-of-year transfer in the amount of $69,325.00 for fiscal year 2025's budget. Our finance director, Ms. Schwan, reported several unforeseen contingencies in last year's budget that will require the transfer of monies in the general fund accounts and subsequent amendments to the fiscal year 25 budget. The resolution includes reallocation of maintenance funds to cover various maintenance expenses, and then the reallocation of contingency funds to cover maintenance utility costs and salary-related expenses in both the Finance Department and the Public Defender's Office. This resolution was unanimously approved by the Finance Committee. And with that, are there any questions? Seeing none, if I could have a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
A motion by Mr. Ritter,
Second by Earring.
second by Earring. Roll call vote, please.
Manker.
Yes.
Earring.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Level.
Yes.
Yeti. Egg. Monson.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Barrickman.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Lackard.
Yes.
Welch.
Yes.
Carly.
Yes.
Weller.
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes.
All right, thank you for that. Next are two resolutions establishing the salaries of the county clerk and the county treasurer. The committee previously approved an annual $750 salary increase for the coroner and an annual $1,000 increase for the circuit clerk. And with the upcoming elections, the county clerk and the county treasurer are now up for discussion. It's important to note that union employee contract increases were set at 3.75. Similar increases occurred for our non-union employees, and the administrative team's recommendation was to maintain consistency amongst the elected official salaries. The committee was provided with a couple different scenarios, and after discussion, the consensus was $1,000 increases in both fiscal year 27 and 28, and $2,000 increases in both fiscal year 29 and fiscal year 30. And those are the resolutions that are before the board tonight. And note, they were unanimously approved by the committee for the board's consideration. Are there any questions? Seeing none,
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Ritter makes the motion. Second by Mr. Weller. And that is a roll call vote, please.
We're doing both of these together.
That would be preferred, yes.
Yes.
There are no objections. Thank you.
Manker.
Yes.
Euring.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Level.
Yes.
Vieti. Haig.
Yes.
Monson.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Barrickman.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Blackard.
Yes.
Welch.
Yes.
Harley.
Yes.
Weller.
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes.
And then finally, we have a resolution authorizing the transfer of monies from the working cash fund to the tort judgment and insurance liability fund. After review, there are insufficient funds within the tort fund to cover the costs of the 2026 insurance premiums, and this resolution would authorize a $420,000 0-cent transfer. The working cash fund will eventually be reimbursed by the tort levy. The committee did this evening vote unanimously to approve this resolution. Are there any questions?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Ms. Manker. If I could have a second. A second by Mr. Haig. We could have a roll call vote, please.
Manker.
Yes.
Euring.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Level.
Yes.
Vieti. Haig.
Yes.
Monson.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Barrickman.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Blackard.
Yes.
Welch.
Yes.
Harley.
Yes.
Level. Oh, sorry. Weller.
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes.
All right, and that concludes our action items, Mr. Chairman. The committee also discussed a proposed 1% salary increase for all non-union employees. The board had already approved a 3% salary increase for those non-union employees for fiscal year 26. Upon recommendation and agreement by the board, the Finance Committee, an additional 1% salary increase for non-union employees was guaranteed to ensure our consistency with the union contracts. The committee did unanimously approve this 1% salary increase for non-union employees. The committee also entered executive session to discuss personnel matters, specifically salary increases for our management team, which we will discuss and debate as a body later during tonight's executive session. And overall, we are in the early days of our new fiscal year, and the finance team is working diligently to finalize fiscal year 25 budget, while they also prepare for the auditors to arrive in late January. We are a large organization, so this is a lengthy and tedious process, so Godspeed to Diane and the team. And that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Welch. I appreciate your report. We'll now move to Ag and Zoning Committee. Mike Haig, Chair.
Yes, we met Monday, January 5th at 6 p.m. We have one action item. It's a decommissioning agreement, resolution SU 15 or -15-24 Rooks Creek Solar. The decommissioning plan is in your packet. Passed through committee. I would entertain a motion. Mr. Ritter's motion. Second by Arian. Mr. Level's second. Any comments or conversations? If not, roll call, please.
Manker.
Yes.
Euring.
Yes.
Fair.
Present.
Level.
Yes.
Vieti.
Yes.
Haig.
Yes.
Monson.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Barrickman.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Blackard,
Yes.
Welch,
Yes.
Carly,
Yes.
Weller.
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes.
Also, I would just like to give you an update. We talked a lot about a solid waste plan that the EPA had found that we were in non-compliance with. Since then, we have found one that we've done in 2022. It has been forwarded to them, expecting approval, and we're also working on getting a new one in place for 2027. So I'd like to thank Brittany for getting all that put together. So with that, that is it, Mr. Carley. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman Haig. We'll now move to Property Committee. Gerald Ehring, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, we met this month and we talked about the building here. After all, it's 150 years old, and we're finding things in our roof project that we weren't expecting, but we have to take care of it while we're there. So we have a change order for some architect work that has to be done in order to make the, I'm going to call it the clock tower structure solid up there. And it's $30-some-odd thousand, I think, maybe 31, does that sound right? 31. And so I'd like to have a motion to approve.
Welch. I'll approve.
Second.
Oops. Did you get that, Elaine, who they were?
Was it Monson?
And who else?
Welch.
Welch.
First, Monson, second.
Thank you. So I could, roll call, please, Elena?
Manker.
Yes.
Ehring.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes.
Level.
Yes.
Vieti. Haig.
Yes.
Monson.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Barrickman.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Blackard.
Yes.
Welch.
Yes.
Carly.
Yes.
Weller.
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all I had to report.
Thank you, Chairman Ehring. We'll now move to Highway Committee. Steve Lovell, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We did not have a meeting this month. We're on for next month. We've got highway lettings coming up, so it concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Lovell. We'll now move to Rules Legislation, Veterans and Community Services, Jack Vieti, Chair.
Thank you, Chairman. We did not have a meeting. We met tonight. We didn't have a regular meeting, but we met tonight before our meeting and approved the appointments for Moon Point Cemetery Association. And those was approved and was done that early tonight. And that is my report, Chairman. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman Vieti. We'll now move to Sheriff, Jail, and License Committee. Bob Weller, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As per some of the other committees, we had a very short, brief committee meeting. Sheriff gave his monthly reports. We paid the bills, and in searching for some tidbit of information to share to stretch the meeting out longer, our jail population is remaining steady. We average about 140, 81 of which are out-of-county guests and 59 of our local Livingston County guests. And for another little tidbit of information, I decided to share the fact of the 19,000 miles we put on the transit vehicles in a month. Other than that, Mr. Chairman, I have nothing else to report.
Thank you for your report, Mr. Weller. We will now move to Information and Technology Committee. Gina Manker, Chair.
We did meet this month. Also, John Sear reported during that meeting that among the many things he had going on, he did complete the rewiring at the jail, replaced multiple computers, revamped the logins, user logins, and also updated all windows so that they're all to the current version. We also did a budget review, and we concluded that we expended 92% of the allocated funds, with the remaining funds being used to purchase necessary equipment. Let's see. Oh, our next budget and capital request for the next year will consist of replacing squad laptops and firewalls for the next year. And we did hear a report from Mr. Chair that reported that some of our virtual servers were encrypted on Monday morning, that by noon the same day, John had 6 of them already. Still working a little bit on the 7th. And that is all my report.
Thank you, Chairman Manker. From an administrative committee standpoint, we'll talk about the cupola. I did talk to Sean today. He said that they have done some construction work, and that thing is now stabilized. Before, it used to be swaying in the wind a lot of times when on windy days, and so we've got that at least stabilized up there, so that's good to hear. Rural transportation, I think, is the big issue. We've all heard about that. We had a meeting. David Schaefer from IDOT was here, and we also had Senator Balkema and Representative Bunning present, and we discussed a lot of things. And we're still working on that, but I will tell you that Futures Connection's doing a great job. They're stepping up. They're starting to expand their services. They're currently looking at potentially getting into Ford County, which will be helpful for them. Recently, they've had a meeting with Iroquois Memorial Hospital, and that's in Watseka, and they're stepping up to provide some transportation too. There are also 3 businessmen in the area of Iroquois County that are looking to start a possible carrier service. It's a huge investment to initially get started, but I know a couple of these gentlemen personally, and I think they've got the ability to do that. Hopefully they can do that for Iroquois County. We'll see. That remains to be seen yet. Presently, the citizens with medical needs, I think, seem to all being serviced thanks to different organizations and individuals that are stepping up. So we're working on it to get these services expanded. We had some things fall in our lap that we didn't anticipate were going to take place, but they have, and so I think we've adjusted greatly. It's been a lot of work. I want to thank Alina for all the effort that she puts in on that, because it's not an easy job, obviously. And we're now the coordinator for Ford and Iroquois also. That's kind of the term I'm going to use. And we certainly want to provide those counties with the best ability to serve their citizens too. So that concludes my report, and we'll move to public comment. I'll first ask any board members if they have any public comment they'd like to make. Becca?
Thank you, Alina.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Ritter?
I'd like to say thank you to the board members who not only reached out to me, but and all the people in our staff who reached out. I apologize for being absent during committee week. We had a family emergency, and as a result, I could not be in attendance. And I apologize to everybody, but I will say how thankful I am for everybody here because your positive vibes has helped us get to positive outcomes. And the prayers and everything, I am, for one, thankful that I get to be on this board because the family who is here has really shown their true colors. And so I appreciate all of you. And some of you didn't know what was going on, and that's all right. But I do dearly want you to know that I, for one, am thankful to be amongst you and to call you all friends, and I appreciate you.
Thank you, Mr. Haig.
I'd just like to thank Alina also. I came to that meeting with the rural transportation the other night, and I really thought you did a great job on well handling that meeting in a tough circumstance, and I appreciate all you've done for that rural transportation. I know it's not easy.
It certainly was a great job. Anyone else? The general public? Does anybody from the general public have any? Come forward, please. State your name and proceed.
Good evening. My name is Gail Smythe, and I just wanted to come and introduce myself. I know a lot of you may know my face, but maybe not my name. And I am running for Livingston County Clerk and Recorders. I have 13 years of experience as the county, well, some people say elections deputy, specialist, administrator, whatever. But I have actually worked for the county for over 20 years. I used to say I was just a part-time seasonal worker because I did all the work down in the basements getting ready for the elections, and then that evolved into teaching the election judges about the machines, and then just teaching the election judge classes. So anyhow, I just wanted everybody to actually put a name with my face and everything, and I appreciate the opportunity. I know that Christy said to me, it actually does matter. Experience matters and all and everything. And believe me, working with her, because it is the clerk and recorder, and it's amazing how much, you know, that I have learned over the years. It's also interesting, in the last year, every single program that we use in the 2 offices have changed. So it's not where you get to come in and work by rote. You have to keep changing because the legislators keep changing and everything like that. Since 2018, 40% of the county clerks have retired. The reason for that is they are overworked. It's stressful, and also there's actual threats out there all the time. A lot of it revolves around the elections. So a lot of them just said, I don't need to do this anymore. And I was just down at the meeting. Christy is still down over in Peoria, excuse me. And we're losing another batch. And all that information that they hold in their head is going to be gone. So it is a hard thing and everything. But knowing all that, when Christy asked me if I would consider running, why would I actually say yes? It's so exciting. When you're working in that office, it is exciting, but there is a lot of work and everything. So that's all I had to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gail, and thanks for your work. Anyone else in the general public? Public comment? Seeing none, we'll move to gotta state the whole thing. Personnel matters. Motion by Gina, second by Ehring. We'll take a roll call vote to move into executive session.
Manker. Ehring. Fair.
Yes.
Level.
Yes.
Vieti. Haig. Monson.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Barrickman.
Yes.
Ambrose. Blackard.
Yes.
Welch.
Yes.
Harley.
Yes.
Weller.
Yes.
Ritter.
Yes, and thank you, Ms. Banker, for saying the entire thing.